Everybody, how's it going? Today we're going to take a look at the newest collab in the world of Monster Strike. It is, I guess we got it back in 2020 in February, Demon Slayer aka Kimetsu no Yaiba Part 2. We've got new collab monsters. This is a full collab, so enjoy all of the events, all of the gachas, and I guess without further ado, let's take a look at the details of the collab. So the three new gacha monsters that we can get, you can also see it on your screen. On the left we got Rengoku Kyojuro, Uzui Tengen, and Kamado Nezuko as your three gacha monsters. Again, I've said it on the previous news, but don't confuse the Nezuko that you may have in your box that is of a fire type with this gacha monster. They have no relation in terms of evolving into one another. They are separate entities as far as the game is concerned. So if you want that powerful Nezuko, you do have to gacha for it. You do not have it in your box already if you have not gacha. The 4 5-star monsters are going to be Sabito and Makomo in the water element and Kanao Tsuyuri in the dark element. We'll go over those monsters in a bit, but of course the part 1 gacha will be back in a separated gacha. As is usually the case, both of them are available. You can get either monster in either of the gachas, but of course the one that features the set that you see on the banner has a higher rate of coming out over the others. And of course part 2 will have individual rate ups after a few days, but part 1 will never have that, so you will not be able to focus on a single part 1 gacha monster, only part 2 monsters. And of course, to review the monsters that are in part 1, you've got Kamado Tanjiro, Tomioka Giyu, and Kocho Shinobu in fire, water, and dark respectively. And the 4 5-star monsters are Agatsuma, Zenitsu, and Hashibiro Inosuke in light and wood respectively. Yeah. So let's take a look at those gacha monsters real quick. I guess I'll also show the in-screen version while you can look at the translated version on the right. But of course, the important details that you may be interested in are of course the strike shot details of each of these monsters. So we've got Rengoku Kyojuro here. I won't go over the stats for any or the ability since I did that on the news video, but you can see the strike shot here. It will target the first enemy that you hit, and it guarantees to be a weak point hitting attack. So no matter where Kyojuro is attacking, it will be considered to be a weak point hit, so you will get that bonus, which is always nice. The strike shot first does a bash attack, which does 10 times if you are on the first gear or 15 if you're on the second gear, and then there's a big explosion, and that explosion covers the entire screen. So any monsters that you may not have activated their bump combos, for example, will be activated, and that's always a nice side effect you can get from this big blast. The blast does also a huge amount of damage with 12 times the attack for the first gear and 15 times his attack stat for the second gear. So pretty cool to see. Game Width does give him a 8.5 at the moment, so definitely a solid monster to go for. Uzui Tengen here in light has been given a tentative 8.0 in his rating, and his strike shot basically creates 2 rings around him, which will do damage, and those rings, well, I guess we'll go over the details of that. That basically just follows him as he's moving around. You can see from the text that it's pretty a boring text, but don't get fooled. There is a big blast that happens after the movement is completed, which will also activate bump combos. And the details for his strike shot there is the 1.3 self attack boost, so it's a buff to his attack, which is always nice. The attack does 12% of his normal attack stat, and then the blast does a 30% blast as well. Strike shot second gear, that buff increases to 2 times his normal attack value, and the rings do 15% of that, as well as the blast doing 60%. So I mean, you can see that maybe because the strike shot isn't that exciting. Of course his bomb combo with the attached bomb and chose it to blast, I personally like that a lot. No gauges as well, so just have to see where he shines, if there's any hope for him. And I guess I forgot to move that there, but I mean, I think it's a decent character as well. And then the last one is going to be Nezuko in wood. Her strike shot has 2 stages. First, just an attack that scales with her attack value, and then the second attack is a percentage attack, which is always nice to see. So basically the first attack is just she like cuts horizontally, and that will do on the first gear, on top of the 20% boost she gets for her damage while using her strike shot, it is a 40 times her attack stat on that first slash. And then she'll do a vertical slash, which does percentage damage. That first gear does 20% of that monster's maximum HP, with a guaranteed minimum of 1.5 million damage. On the second gear, her boost increases to 50%, which is nice to see, and the first follow-up does 55 times her attack stat, and then the follow-up percentage attack is 40% of the boss's max HP, which does a minimum of 2.8 million damage, regardless of the monster. So, definitely always interesting to see, you know, percentage strike shots come into play. I mean, it seems solid. I do like the set as well. You got a nice, you know kludge of new and old abilities, which is always happy. You know, something you want to see in a monster to have, you know, a long life. So 8.5 as well from Game Win. And now let's take a look at the 4 5-star monsters. On the left, we have Sabito and Makomo in the water element. Their strike shot, they split into 2 units. Sabito will have 1.1 times attack, and then Makomo, the clone, I guess, will have a 1.05 times attack boost. They'll move around, and then there's a big follow-up attack that does 20 times the attack stat. So that's alright. 7.5 is definitely a solid rating for a 4 5-star monster. So if you do want to grab her, at least get one. It's always good to at least get one. And I guess since I don't usually make a card for these on the news, well, since it's not out by then, Null Damage Wall, Super Minesweeper, Fire Slayer, and Repeat Hit Slayer on the gauge. Definitely a good set for a 4 5-star monster. And the bump combo is the Chozetsu Shingeki, so the slashes. So Chozetsu level, I guess it's okay, but we'll go with that. And then next is Kanao Tsuyuri, and she does have an 8.0 rating, which is, I think, the highest a 4 5-star monster can get in game with. You know, barring real big exceptions. So this is definitely a strong skill set for her. We've got Null Damage Wall, Super Null Warp, Mafuji, which is Demon's Bane. Also on the gauge, you got Null Speed Down Wall and Dash, which is nice to see. She is a blast type, and her bump combo is Power Drive. That's what you want to see out of 4 5-star monster. Very strong bump combo with you know, that blast bonus as well. In addition, her strike shot gives her speed and power up, and it lasts until the end of her next turn, so she gets to use it. It's active until her next turn, which is also usable. Definitely nice. And on top of that, she nulls damage wall, gravity barriers, warps, and mines when using that strike shot, so every 4 turns you're able to take advantage of that. Not bad for a 4 5-star monster. Definitely can see why it's given an 8 with that strong bump combo as well to go with it. So again, definitely at least get one. And you know, this might be, you know, if you really like the collab, this might be someone you consider going to 90 luck for, getting 75 luck to get that bonus. Oh yeah, those are the new monsters. We can take a look at the new Transcension Kais that are available for the older Part 1 monster. We'll start with Kamado Tanjiro here, who does have an 8.5 rating. Strike shot is a bash to the enemy and does a big wide, and it looks like it just encapsulates a lot more from you know, from the videos you can see. So it'll do a bunch of attacks with that first set of follow-ups, and then a last blast that'll do a delay of all monsters. However, the important thing to keep in mind here is if the boss does die along the way with those, you know, attack blasts, that it can run away. So you're not gonna be able to, you know, skip a gauge with his strike shot, unfortunately. So that's important to keep in mind, because there's some strike shot where as long as the animation starts, it'll never run away, but that does not seem to be the case for Tanjiro. Oops, sorry, got interrupted real quick. Where was I? Okay. So the strike shot first gear is a 20% buff to his attack stat, and he will do a bash that does 5 times his attack stat. And there will be a follow-up attack 5 times that does 2.4 times his attack stat. And the delay at the end will be worth 2 turns on the first gear. On the second gear, the buff increases to 50%. The bash is 10 times his attack stat. The follow-up blasts are 5 shots at 2.8 times attack each. And instead of 2, it is a 3-turn delay on the second gear. So, I mean, of course, the connect skill is pretty easy to activate, which is always nice to see. Slayer on the main. I guess we're missing some of the newer nulls, which is always something you want nowadays. But, you know, I guess can't complain too much. I don't think there's any hesitation to move to this form as well. Alright, let's move on to the next slide, which is going to be talking about Tomioka Giyu in the water element. He does have an 8.0 rating on game width as of this moment. His strike shot is not changed from the original form. It's a strike shot that will nullify all attacks that occurs immediately after using the strike shot, right? So you use the strike shot, it's your enemy's turn. Any attacks that happen on your enemy's turn, that moment will be nulled. And by nulled, I mean nothing will happen. So any of the 4 HP attacks, the poison effects, I guess a cool side effect is that the BGM is also cut as well while the boss or all the enemies attack that turn. The buffs first gear is equal to what you saw on the Transcension. It is a 1.6 times boost, and then if you go to the second gear, it is higher at the 2.4 times level, which again, nice to see. I mean, I know people were hoping for more out of this. This is the only monster I have on my tablet as well, so wish it was a little bit stronger, but I guess that's what we got to deal with for Giyu here. And then last but not least, we got Kocho Shinobu in the dark element. Her strike shot, you know, similar properties. It's a strong poison attack that does percentage damage of the monster's maximum HP, which is very nice to see. There is a minimum guarantee of 50,000 damage for the poison, but you're probably going to be doing much more than that. The first gear, not only does she buff herself by 10% while moving, the poison does 5% of the max HP for 4 turns. That means a total of 20% of that monster's HP will be disintegrated by the poison over 4 turns. The second gear is where it'll do some nice bonus damage. Not only do you get a 20% boost on her attack stat, but the poison now does 15% of that monster's max HP over 4 turns. That is a total of 60% of that monster's HP sapped by poison. So definitely a strong strike shot there. But again, it's nothing different from what you were, or nothing too different, sorry, that you were seeing in the original. And yep, game width also gives her an 8.5 at the moment. So let's make sure that you understand which quests are going on. If you go to the event screen here, you can see that the 24/7 4 5-star quests are available with Spider Demon, Son, older brother I guess, in the fire element, and you can see the Temple Demon in the light element. These are available as many times as you want to run it. They're just there, but do keep in mind that they are 4 5-star monsters, so you'll tap out at 75/90 luck. The direct drop quest also is available at all times. There's no max luck required because she just requires you to clear that quest. You will get 7 drops for your first clear each day. There will always be a friendly reminder here showing you if you have done it or not. You can also see on the text here, if you see that blue text on that quest, that means you have not yet gotten your bonus for the day. So make sure you pick up your 7 because farming a direct drop quest is no fun. You are guaranteed 1 drop by clearing. If you play co-op, you have a higher chance to get 2 or 3 drops from the boss. So again, make sure you just co-op it, and at the very least, even if you don't co-op, just play it every day, because that gives you 7. That is more than enough to clear without having to farm this quest heavily. And of course, we'll have 2 scheduled quests that you'll need to take a look at the schedule as to when they're available and farm them respectively. You've got Daki in the wood element and Gyutaro in the water element. These ones you're going to want to make sure you max luck because, well, they're not going to come back unless there's a part 3 for the Kimetsu no Yaiba collab. We also have an Insidious quest as usual. It'll feature Akaza, and Akaza's quest is one of those quests where you have to farm, but thankfully all monsters will be treated as max luck, so there's no need to bring a max luck monster. Just bring your OP monsters, farm it until you get that lovely 99 level to say goodbye to Akaza. And again, you can find his quest in the schedule. You can also play the older quests if you needed to finish them. Go to the library and they will be available on the top. These 5 quests are available for the duration of the collab. Of course, the Insidious quests are not there. That is specific to the appearance when it showed up. And yeah, I'm done with everything, so I don't need to worry about it, which is always good to see. There is also, I know there's a lot of things to do here. There's also collab coin farming. If you go to the event, it'll be on the top, and this is also available 24/7. You just run this quest, pick up these coins. Obviously, you're not going to get the boss dropping here because she is that 4 5-star monster, right? That you get from the gacha. You are just collecting coins here, and these Kisatsu Tai coins can be used for exchange. You go to the monster menu here. It's now conveniently on the very top, so you don't have to look for it. It's also in red, but you can see that you can pick. Not only can you pick up monsters, but you can pick up good job stickers as well as items, and of course, as always, you can pick up 20 or not, is it 20 orbs? Yeah, 20 orbs. But you have to spend 100,000 coins before doing it, so you have to spend the effort to farm, get the other stuff. Max luck these monsters. That's always nice, and only then can you pick up those orbs. And of course, don't forget that there is a daily item that rotates. That is on a discounted price for those coins, so make sure you don't miss out on that, picking those up, because you can get some really nice items such as orbs or stamina mins on Saturday. That's really good, and getting those 5 dragon gems at a discounted price, always nice for those of you who might be low on them. So please do not forget, the collab coins are there for you to pick up and enjoy. And of course, as is always the case with these coin, farming things, there's going to be some special character that will drop a load of coins. That is these hyotans. So make sure you take them down before they run away, so that you don't miss out on that coin drop. And of course, what's very important about farming this quest is that the boss will also drop coins, but only if you do co-op, and the more people you play co-op with, the more coins you will get. So make sure you co-op with maximum amount of people. Either find people in the Discord, join on Game With. That's the best way to find partners to play with. And you did see that the 2 monsters that you can get from the coin store were Murata and Tamayo and Yushiro. Make sure you grab them. And of course, with the collab means missions, and here are the translated versions of the missions. If you follow me on Discord or Twitter, you can see that these missions have been translated. Since possibly your favorite anime is in this game, you might want to give it a shot for this awesome game. Anyways, until next time, bye bye.